Morning, folks. Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. Do appreciate you tuning in today. My guests today are Bill Graham and Debbie Graham, and we are going to talk about their books. They have 2 books coming out this spring, and we're going to talk about those, how you can find them, and talk about what they're all about, because 2 very different stories, 2 interesting, fascinating books, and we'll do that today. This is Big Talk with Bruce Dickey on Wabash Catch TV. I'm Bruce Dickey. That's Bill and Deb. And when we'll have, let's see, you were watching us on Wabash Catch TV, Channel 3 over in Salem, Channel 25 or Channel 100 here in Flora, depending on what your fiber service is. Also, of course, on YouTube at the Big Talk with Bruce Dickey channel. Thanks very much to each and every one of you for tuning in. What is going on today? Not a whole lot of activities today, since this is Monday, May 20th. Community events for today, the Wayne City Ruritan Club. They're going to be meeting this evening at the Wayne City Community Building. The meeting and the dinner does begin at 6:30. Anyone interested in joining or becoming an active volunteer is entitled to attend. Of course, the Wayne City Ruritans, they'll run the Bean Days celebration is their biggest deal. They also, I think, put on the fireworks show over in Wayne City. So, yeah, you might check that out. Also today, a couple of events at the Flora Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center this evening. Well, this morning, actually. Piano with Alvina at 10 o'clock this morning. And she'll be there for about an hour or so. Alvina Hilderbrand. And it'll be followed up by Bingo and Popcorn. Bingo and Popcorn at the Flora Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center. That's at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So play some bingo out there with all the clients and have a real nice time. This is National Rescue Dog Day. It's Monday, May 20th, National Rescue Dog Day. They recognizes all the benefits of allowing 4-legged canines to adopt you into their immeasurably lovable life. I always ask my guest stuff. Do you guys dog lovers or
Yeah.
cat lovers?
Yeah, we're dog lovers. We have a cat right now, but we are dog
Named
lovers.
Garfield, but
You named your cat Garfield. I like that. What kind of dog's your favorite dogs?
Mine is a lab.
Oh, really?
I love labs.
Yeah, labs are great dogs. This is a national, like I said, National Dog Rescue Day. No matter what size, color, or breed, dogs will find a way to nuzzle or find their way into your heart. That's always the best thing. How do you get involved with National Rescue Dog Day? Well, there's many ways that you can help out. Volunteer at your local shelter, taking dogs for walks, grooming, or giving them plenty of affection, because that'll always help them out. Shelters always need donations, financially as well as food or anything like that. Financial donations are always welcome at shelters, but most shelters also have a list of constant needs like blankets and toys and leashes and cleaning supplies, all that kind of stuff. If there is room in your life for a rescue dog, by all means, do try to do that. This is also, each May 20th is also National Pick Strawberries Day. National Pick.
All right.
See, now that's a good day. I'm all
That's a
for it.
good day if you get to eat them, too.
That's exactly right. National Pick Strawberries Day is today. So they've established May 20th. That's typically in the middle of the season, at least here in southern Illinois. You can find them, depending on how much sunshine and how much rain there has been. But yeah, enjoy freshly picked strawberries today. That's the day to go about it. Also, what's on Wabash? What do you want to watch on television tonight? Well, we do have baseball. Wabash Catch TV, high school baseball this afternoon. The Centralia Class 3A Baseball Regional. It's the Centralia Orphans at the Salem Wildcats. That game going to be played in Salem. Salem won that as they are the higher seeded team. Won the opportunity to have that game anywhere as the higher seeded team. And that's at 4:15 this afternoon on these same channels, Channel 3, 25, or 100. Also on YouTube. It'll be on the Wabash Catch TV channel. You might do that. 4:15 today. Centralia at Salem. I'll be at that game. Should be a lot of fun. Also, NBA Game 4 tonight of the Western Conference Finals. The Golden State Warriors lead that series 3-0. They are at Portland. That's on ESPN today at Channel 601, of course. And a couple of baseball games if you are interested in such a thing. The Cardinals get the day off. They need a day off, put things back together. The Philadelphia Phillies will be in Chicago tonight. They're playing the Cubs at 7:05. That's on NBC Sports Chicago channel 643. And Jake Arrieta, the former Cub, taking on Yu Darvish. Also, on NBC Sports Chicago Plus, the channel 644, it is the Chicago White Sox at the Houston Astros. All kinds of good stuff going on. You stay right here on these channels and you'll be able to see it all. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV, joined by Bill and Deb, and we'll be right back after these. Do stick around.
Looking to build a new hobby building, horse barn, or farm shop? Let Morton Buildings help you design and construct a building that perfectly suits your needs. We'll be there for you every step of the way, even post-construction, with the strongest non-prorated warranty in the industry. Plus, Morton's exclusive Energy Performer insulation system provides the ultimate in comfort and efficiency. To see our latest projects and learn more, please visit mortonbuildings.com.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
I'm Brian. You probably know someone who's had a heart attack, COPD, or a heart bypass operation. You might even know someone who's had a heart transplant, lung cancer, or part of their lung removed. But what about someone who's had all 6? Now you do. My tip is, if smoking doesn't get you one way, it'll get you another.
Morning, folks. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My guests today, Bill and Debbie Graham. Bill down there on the end, of course, Debbie here in the middle. They are authors, and I don't know which one I want to start with first, but they have 2 books out. And you can find these at the local library here in Flora, as well as bookstores and all over the place. I gotta know, where do you find the books? What's the best way for somebody to get a hold of these books?
Well, on Amazon.
On Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were able to get to local into bookstores.
No,
or
we're
into,
working on some things, but right now, Amazon's the best place to get them. However, the library does have several copy of autographed.
several autographed copies of both of them, or
No,
just
just
Working on the Railroad?
Right now, working on the railroad.
All right.
We go to the library for Underdogs on June
book signing.
29th.
The book signing coming up next month on Underdogs. We're going to talk about both these books, and as Bill and Debbie have, you've been married for 15 or 20 years, right? 15 years.
Just about.
Just
When
about.
did you decide to become an author? How did that happen, Bill?
Well, my dad, some of his stories are in the railroad book. He worked for the B&O Railroad, just out in Flora here, out of this depot,
Yeah.
and he told us stories about his railroad days
Okay.
during World War II, and there were
How long did he work for the
5
railroad?
years.
Okay.
5 years during World War II. His uncle was they sent him, he was in the Marines.
Okay.
And so they were all part of the war effort. And I grew up hearing these stories, and I just loved the idea of telling stories. And that's kind of how I got started on all this.
Oh, that's really cool. Now, that's one of the things. It's kind of it's kind of not a lost art, but it's kind of a lost history of the passenger railroads throughout the United States, isn't it?
Yeah, because when they lost the railroad post office contracts, that's when the passenger trains actually went out.
Oh, is that right?
Finished. That's what finished them. They lost that revenue helped equalize the passenger service, because you had, like before airlines and things like this, you had just the passenger trains to transport people. You know, there used to be 12 passenger trains come through this depot.
Is
here in
that right?
town.
Every day?
Every day.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wondered about that. When did the Postal Service contracts end? Did they, like, in the late 50s, early 60s?
Well, I think in the 50s, because that's when, up until then, my dad had a friend who was a railroad buff, and he would go and make all these films with 8mm camera,
Really?
and stuff, and that was going on in the 50s. And in 75, they used to take 8th grade kids to
Springfield
and Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And when the railroads went out, they had to quit that.
I hadn't really considered that, but I guess that makes sense. I always like to think about the different shifts that made that happen, because what got it started was basically just the westward expansion of the United States, right?
Right. When the Pilgrims arrived, they had all this land, but they nearly starved to death that first winter.
Right.
Half the adults died, and kids finally made it, I guess, because they were healthy. But they had all this expansive land, but they couldn't get to the natural resources.
Okay.
And so when the railroads came, that's why we can have oranges. When there's a foot of snow on the ground, go to Walmart and buy your oranges.
Because the railroads
provide it.
and then the transportation, the Eisenhower Interstate system.
Right.
That's a question. Which do you think more impact on the demise of the passenger railway system, the postal contracts going out, or the Eisenhower Interstate system?
Okay.
Is that a good question?
Yes, very good, because we've done some research, and the trucks actually, they haul more now than the railroads.
Yeah.
But it was a combination of things. The railroads started around 1830
Right.
on the eastern seaboard, and the technology lasted for 100 years.
Okay.
And it was cutting edge technology, and it handled all the long range passenger and freight service.
It handled transit for just about everything, didn't it?
And it went into Mexico and it went into Canada.
Yeah.
Everything.
So-
But it took several things to replace what the railroad does.
Really?
Yeah, it took the advent of the car.
The automobile.
Yeah, the automobile. Sorry, and
That's all right.
And then trucks.
I just didn't want to confuse anybody with the rail cars versus car cars.
Yeah, yeah, automobiles.
Yeah.
And then as these things developed, and then came the Eisenhower interstate systems. All that together, it took to replace it because the railroads were like had the significance of airports in metropolitan areas today.
I guess they
Well,
do.
one of the things that also happened is the mail started being carried by the airlines.
Oh, really? Freight by freight lines?
Yeah, and one of the things that happened there is they got the contract for $1.
I think so.
A
Yeah.
dollar to carry all the mail.
Wait a second. That's a pretty nice contract.
Yes.
I think Eddie Rickenbacker, who was a
No, the ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the ace. He was also the head of the United Airlines, right?
Eastern.
Eastern
Eastern.
Airlines.
And that was the first airline that really came into its own after World War, in the 30s, 40s, and after World War II.
This is, all right, doing my math in my head, this is 2019 right now.
Yeah.
And when did the last railroad, when did the last passenger train stop in Flora? How long ago? The depot would have been would have been when they. Now, of course, it's renovated now, but
1917 is when that depot was built.
it was built in 17.
Yeah.
When did its existence as a depot end? I know
That
Fairfield stopped like in 19. I rode a train in 1970, but that was one of those trains that they bring in, just for kicks.
Yeah, right,
And
And his brother went every week back and forth to school and
Cincinnati, Ohio, and that was in the early 60s.
Okay.
So the last passenger train, if I'm getting this right, would be probably in the mid 70s.
oh, okay.
And then that's when, they don't come through here now except for occasional freight service, but Amtrak took over the rest of the passenger service from the other railroad companies.
Okay. Oh, that's the thing. Amtrak basically is how many other companies were there? Was there a different line? Would you go from one line to another line to another line?
Yes.
Here, let me show the picture that might demonstrate it a little bit, not him.
Okay.
But that one. So you've got the picture of somebody going from Washington D.C. all the way here to on the left side is Vincennes and also Effingham and Salem and on the train. How many different lines do you think you had to be on, or were you getting on a different line in each of those towns?
No, you weren't. In fact, this shows the importance of the railroad. This is the national road, which
That's
is a highway.
what became Route 40, right?
Yes, and so this was 1913. You can see the little, you can see the little thing there, the date, and this shows the importance of the railroad because up until 1913, this was all about the paving of the roads. Until then, highways were just pretty much dirt roads.
Well, yeah, we didn't have any roads yet.
Right.
No. And I had the national road with covered wagons and things like this, but nothing with paved roads that were passable year round.
Yeah.
But in answer to your question, you would have to take several, as you went across the entire country, you would have to pass from one railroad system to another railroad company.
Is that right? Well, it's all in, basically, folks. It is all in Workin On The Railroad. This is the book that you had the signing for last month, and we're going to talk about Underdogs coming up here in a little bit. Before we get off of this, though, I want you to tell me, we're going to take a break. When we come back, you've talked about having it change lines and to go across the country. I want to hear about your trip as a child across the country because this is a pretty hairy. It's a little different transportation now than it was in the 1950s. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My guests today are Bill and Debbie Graham. We're talking about their books, and we'll be right back after these. Do stick around.
Yeah.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Looking to build a new hobby building, horse barn, or farm shop? Let Morton Buildings help you design and construct a building that perfectly suits your needs. We'll be there for you every step of the way, even post-construction, with the strongest non-prorated warranty in the industry. Plus, Morton's exclusive Energy Performer insulation system provides the ultimate in comfort and efficiency. To see our latest projects and learn more, please visit mortonbuildings.com.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I'm Christine, and I used to smoke. My tip is, when you hear the words oral cancer, think about more than just your mouth. The skin grafts and reconstructive surgery can really leave a mark on your arm, your shoulder, and your neck. Not to mention what it can do to your face.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching. Morning, folks. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. I'm Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Down there is Bill Graham. Right here is Debbie Graham. We are talking about Working on the Railroad, Forging a Steel Highway Across America, one of Bill and Deb's new books, as they have completed these books in the recent times. How long did you work on the books?
Oh, my. Well, this started...
Labor of love, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to honor the men who ran the railroads, and it was not an easy job. And those stories date back to the 1920s, 30s, and 40s.
Yeah, just basically the story. I mean, even before your dad was alive and working on the railroad.
Right.
That's pretty good. Okay, you have a little bit more personal perspective on this, Deb,
Yes.
probably than most people do, don't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about. All right, now I've been to Oregon.
Okay.
I've been to Oregon. I flew across the country to Oregon. It was actually flew to Seattle, drove to Oregon, and went back to Seattle, flew back. It was about a 5-hour flight. It was very comfortable. I may have read books just like this while I was on the airplane. Your trip to Oregon in the late 60s on the railroad was a little different.
Yeah, I'd say so. Mom and Dad had decided to take a vacation. My grandfather lived in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
So they decided, well, we'd go and visit my grandfather for Christmas.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was. And so they made arrangements, and they said, well, they knew that things were changing for the railroads, as we talked about. Because
beginning to lose lines.
Yes. And so and Mom she went on by train all the time out there when she was little to go see her dad. She lived with her grandmother and lived with her dad in the summertime. So we got our tickets. We got on the train.
You're all set.
We're all set.
We're going for Christmas.
Yep.
Right.
And
Nice.
It started snowing here, but we got on the train and we went on our way there. We went across through St. Louis and then went out through
So
Wyoming.
you didn't have to catch the train in St. Louis. You were able to catch it still.
Oh, in Indiana.
Oh.
We were actually.
You're in northern Indiana, right?
We were northeastern Indiana.
Yeah.
We got on in Garrett, and we were supposed to come back to Garrett.
Oh, okay.
All right. But we went from Garrett, which is right around Fort Wayne, and we go, not too bad. I remember getting to Laramie, Wyoming.
Okay.
And there was a blizzard out.
All of a sudden, it's starting to get a little snowy. I got to tell you, if I'm flying, I'm way above that snow.
Yeah, that works that way. We were way under it. And it was so cold, and it was blowing, and you could hardly see the train station when we stopped outside of it. It was blowing that hard. And I know we took on passengers, and when the doors opened, it was cold. And
how well heated were the train cars?
well, they were heated well as long as
Okay.
the doors weren't open. It wasn't bad inside most
Good.
of the time.
Most of the time, good.
And then we went on up to Eugene the whole time snowing. And it doesn't, my grandfather said it doesn't snow in Eugene.
It doesn't snow in Oregon very much.
No. But it was snowing. So we got there, and when we got there, I remember we woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning for Christmas because
It's Christmas.
it's Christmas, and our little bodies didn't know about the time change. So Grandpa and Grandma were up at 4
Bumming.
o'clock. Yeah. So we all opened the gifts, and then we all went back to bed. Or they did. And I remember the morning that we left, it was about 2 days later, I woke up, and I was sick. And turned out I had Hong Kong flu. And that year it hit really hard.
Hong Kong flu.
And I can't give you all the details, but I know it was bad. And I was the only one in the family that got it
That's good.
naturally. But I shouldn't say naturally, I suppose, but I was the only one that had it. And I had a brother that was 4 years younger than me. And then I had twin brothers, identical twin brothers that were 2.5 years younger
really?
than that. So they were 6.5.
So there were 6 of you traveling out there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's mom, dad, all our luggage, myself,
And 3
my
others.
brother, and then my tiny brothers.
Right.
Okay. So when we got to Seattle, visit my cousin, I'm sick as a dog. They did all the things they were going to do.
All right.
And right before we left, they took us up to, and I remember before we left Eugene, my grandpa said, well, it hardly ever snows in Eugene. So we're now in Seattle, and we're getting ready to leave. So we go up in the Needle, and that's the only thing I got to do. And then we got on the train to go home.
All right. So you're on the train home.
Yeah.
We're heading home.
And we're going the northern route.
How long would the trip typically take?
I
The
think
northern route across to
we were,
Indiana.
I think it was 3 days.
Yeah, something like
And
that.
we were supposed to leave and get in on New Year's Eve
Okay.
at about 8 o'clock,
Okay.
7 o'clock, something like that.
All right.
So we get on the train, and what happened is it was 55 below.
It was a blizzard, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
and it
a
was
blizzard.
snowing. And all through Idaho, they had to stop and change the hand signals by hand.
They had to get out because they were frozen up.
Yes.
The otherwise the switches were frozen up.
And it was like I asked Mom, why stop go? Mom says, well, they're having trouble changing the hands or the singles, and they have to get out and change them by hand. And we're talking, I guess, about every quarter mile.
I wouldn't have been that much.
Probably mile. But anyway, it just seemed like all the time.
All the time.
And the guys were having to stand out, change them, get back on, go a little, stop, change them, go a little, stop, change, the whole way. And so we got in about 28 hours late.
For the next train.
Yeah. And the car froze up. Our car froze up. And so, it was 55 outside plus wind. Well, it was pretty cold inside, too. It was
negative 55 outside. Yeah, negative 55.
Minus.
Yeah, it was bad. So they had to stop, and I think it was in Helena, Montana, we stopped, and they de-thawed their car. And it wasn't just our car, it was another car, and they had to turn off the whole heating system while they de-thawed it. So no food in the car. So my brothers, and probably me, I don't remember doing this, but I apparently harassed Daddy until he went in to get some food.
Yeah.
And the only thing that was left at the depot
was the vending machine?
It was the vending machine.
Nice. All right. And so we're looking in the 60s, the vending machine probably back in those days. Do they have eggs maybe or something and sandwiches?
I don't know. But by the time Daddy got in there, after we'd pestered him apparently for quite a while.
Everybody else has probably already been in there.
Yeah. And this was a whole big train. And all that was left was ice cream sandwiches.
Ice cream sandwiches on a 55-degree day, or negative 55-degree day.
And my brothers loved it.
Yeah.
But we did have something to eat.
So what did the trip end up taking? When did you get back to?
We got home on New Year's Day about 6 p.m. They just let us out. I mean, this was not a scheduled stop because we ended up on a different train to go home, just because it would get us home close to the right time. They just put us on a plane, and we ended up getting off
on a train.
On a train, but we went to Waterloo, which is about the same distance from my home, but it was a different line altogether. So we had to contact her, and she came and picked us up, and we finally got home.
Well, it kind of gives you a little bit of perspective then, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
On what he's talking about whenever you're talking about these railroad stories. What are some of your mom and dad's or your dad's favorite stories? What is your dad's favorite story? I don't want to ruin the book for people, but tell me one of. I tell you what, let's do. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to have Bill tell me a story from the book, if you don't mind, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk about a little bit more about working on the railroad, and talk about Underdogs as well. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV, and we'll be back right after these. Do stick around.
I'm Brian. You probably know someone who's had a heart attack, COPD, or a heart bypass operation. You might even know someone who's had a heart transplant, lung cancer, or part of their lung removed. But what about someone who's had all 6? Now you do. My tip is, if smoking doesn't get you one way, it'll get you another.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, My name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Looking to build a new hobby building, horse barn, or farm shop? Let Morton Buildings help you design and construct a building that perfectly suits your needs. We'll be there for you every step of the way, even post-construction, with the strongest non-prorated warranty in the industry. Plus, Morton's exclusive Energy Performer insulation system provides the ultimate in comfort and efficiency. To see our latest projects and learn more, please visit mortonbuildings.com.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Morning, folks. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey, right back here on Wabash Catch TV. Do appreciate you tuning in. My guests today are Bill Graham and Debbie Graham. They are authors of Working on the Railroad. We're talking about it. Also, Underdogs. We'll get to it in just a few minutes. But you're telling the fascinating stories here of basically days gone by. You're a historian when it comes to this, aren't you?
Yes.
Your dad worked on the railroad. Tell me a little bit about your father, Bob Graham. There's his picture out there.
Well, that's my dad, Bob Graham, and that's in front of our house that they built for $400.
Oh, really?
In the 40s.
Nice.
And in fact, we lived there.
Okay. For how long? I guess.
Well, they built the house in 1944. Mm-hmm. And that was when D-Day was going on.
Yeah.
The invasion.
Middle of the war.
Yeah. And that's his dog, Joe, which he got in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In those days, they were about to throw a bunch of dogs into this pond. And
in a bag.
He saved the dogs, and that was one of the.
Oh my heavens! Well, that was a different time. Wasn't it?
Back in the 30s.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he would take that dog to work, and he worked here in the railroad yards, and they would allow the dog to ride in the engine.
Oh, really?
And there was a railroad yard just west of town in Flora.
Okay.
And the dog would ride all night while they put the trains together for the next
kidding.
day. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was just a railroad dog, and
they all looked out for him, and he
would show up at the depot by himself sometimes, and they'd give him treats.
And your mother was treated him nicely too, I guess. Then, right?
Yeah, that's my mom, and
that was their baby before they had babies.
Yep, that was her baby dog named Joe, and he named him after Joe Louis, the prize fighter of the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
the heavyweight champion of the world.
But
right.
He fought, and he felt like the puppy fought.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes good sense.
He was a real good rabbit dog. He could outrun a rabbit. And so anyway, between my mom and he and my dad, one Christmas they got on a train to go to Iola, Illinois.
That's okay, up south of Salem, or not south of Salem, south of Effingham.
Effingham, and probably a 45-minute trip by train, and it was called the Dickey.
The Dickey.
The train was.
Okay.
It was a little train, and they had probably some box cars, so they all freight and passengers and chickens and the different things that people would order online and from Sears.
Okay.
Not online.
Yeah, not online
Sears.
at all.
Internet hadn't come yet. And they said they'd go up there and visit Grandpa Williams, Reuben Williams, that had a 40-acre farm up there. He farmed with horses, and right next to the railroad track. And as long as Joe would sit in the seat and behave himself.
Joe the dog.
The dog, excuse me, the dog, not my dad. His name was Bob. As long as the dog Joe would sit in the seat, he would look out the window and he was allowed to ride. And nobody ever said anything to him.
Well, that's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, you've had this one out for a while now, and this is like I said, this is Working on the Railroad. Tell me a little bit. Are the sales what you'd like? Are you like them to get more? Or this is since you're not in this really to make gigantic. You're not in this to be J.K. Rowling, are you?
Probably not. And probably not going to happen.
No, but the thing that we were hoping is to make people aware of how important the railroads were to the United States.
How does one publish? How does one self-publish? I mean, this is self-published, right?
Yes,
sir.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Well, it's a neat little item that they through Amazon.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They have it's called Kindle, and it's through Amazon. You go to the bottom of Amazon, and you can publish books. You can publish music. You can do all kinds of things. But we're not publishing music.
No, we don't sing.
But one of the things that we do is when I worked on this and I learned about it, and I've had to do a learning process too. I've used Word forever, but
Sure.
I've had to learn a lot of things about books and
yeah.
Word. And we've footnoted a lot of things. So footnotes, I want to do it right. And I've just learned a lot about publishing books. Then the other thing about it is designing the cover. You can do that in Amazon. And I wanted not to get into trouble about using pictures that were somebody else's.
Yeah, you don't want
I went and
copyright.
took my own pictures.
Yeah, you don't want to copyright infringe anything.
So that's a difficult hurdle to overcome, and that's why she took that picture.
Okay, this
on the front of the book.
You get the picture credit for the picture.
Yes.
What we did is we just got out of the car at the parking lot on
Blue
Mound Road and got in front of the railroad tracks, and I started taking pictures. And the one day I was there, it was cold. It was in the wintertime, but the next morning it was supposed to be sunny. So we went back the next morning, and the sun just shined on it right.
So see, now that's pretty cool.
It looked like it was going straight somewhere.
Yeah, and if it, I'm guessing the time of day. That's
Morning,
that's pretty early morning because it's a low sun.
Yeah, it was about. Well, it was during the winter, so it was about 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. But I liked it, and we played with it for quite a while. And I took probably 20 or 30 pictures, but I finally got one that I thought looked right for the book that was going down the rail.
Going down the road.
And that was the idea I wanted. And Bill and I talked about it, and we decided that would be good. So
that's really cool. I tell you what, we're going to do. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Underdogs. It's kind of a history book for folks who didn't take history, isn't it?
That's right.
That's kind of what kind of what it's designed to be. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My guests today are Bill Graham and Debbie Graham, and we'll be right back after these. Do please stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details. At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
The difference between a good building and a great building is craftsmanship. It's about taking pride in the finished product. It's about being a professional. Unlike other construction companies, you work with Morton Building's craftsmen from conception to completion. From the plant employees who roll the steel to the company driver who delivers the materials to the construction crews, every one of them are Morton employee owners who take pride in exceeding your expectations. Discover the Morton difference today at mortonbuildings.com.
I'm Christine, and I used to smoke. My tip is, when you hear the words oral cancer, think about more than just your mouth. The skin grafts and reconstructive surgery can really leave a mark on your arm, your shoulder, and your neck. Not to mention what it can do to your face.
Morning, folks. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Catch TV. My guests today. Now, I've put you both as the authors here, even though Bill has it's only Bill's name on the book. Are we going to punch him when we get home and
Oh, no.
Oh, I tried to talk her into putting her name on.
I didn't.
You didn't
These are Bill's books,
Okay.
and I help, but these are
that's-
his books.
If folks want, if you're looking for these books, you can find them on Amazon. Also, the Flora Library has copies.
Yes.
Copies for sale there too.
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
right?
they're for sale.
Okay. Yeah, copies for sale as well as to lend out. Tell me about, it's a David and Goliath story, Underdogs. This is, when you think about it, 250 years ago, there probably were no bigger underdogs than the U.S. people starting, were they?
Right.
No, it was definite. I know some of the statistics we have in there. It's unbelievable. We had no standing army.
Yeah.
We had nothing.
Yeah. Basically militias ended up getting started, right?
Right.
Yeah, it
right.
was
They had
militias.
militia, Minutemen, those kind of.
We basically on July 4th, actually, it was all signed on the 5th, but they started on the 3rd and ended on the 5th, and they chose the 4th. But we know it wasn't all signed.
Yeah, the
on
resolution was on the 2nd or whatever.
Yeah,
And,
it was. But basically, we declared war.
Yeah.
And we said, Britain, forget it.
We're coming. We want to win. Yeah.
Stay out of our
We're
face.
getting tired of getting taxed. We're getting tired of not being represented. And I understand that from the standpoint they couldn't do anything legal.
Yeah.
They took them to England for court.
Imagine
that's
that.
unhandy.
Yeah,
especially when it takes 3 months to go across the ocean.
Yeah, and you don't know if you're going to get there, and you don't know if you're going to get back.
Yeah.
And somebody that doesn't know you is trying to put you in jail.
Tell me a little bit about. There's a phrase that keeps cropping up as you look through the book, and it's kind of the theme of the book, isn't it? The laws of nature and the laws of God.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Laws of nature and the laws of nature's God. Yeah. Anyway, we started out, the book was Underdogs, so you have to understand, I kind of think about Rocky Balboa in the Rocky movies.
Mm-hmm.
At first, Rocky's kind of a down and out
Pardon me.
fighter and stuff, and
Yes.
but his trainer believes in him.
Sure.
He starts out and he's not in great shape, and then he starts, and then Eye of the Tiger comes along, and all those great songs, and as he gets going, he's really getting pumped up, and it's because his attitude and his beliefs about himself and just about life change.
Yeah.
And I kind of compare that with the Underdogs, who they were going up against the superpower of the day, Great Britain.
And they were. I mean, Washington had fought for Great Britain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fact,
They were members. They were all loyal. They were loyal colonists for their entire lives.
yes,
Right.
And he had like you said, he had fought for the British,
Right.
against during the French and Indian War. And so, anyway, with that said, this belief, they had no army, like we said, and it was an impossible situation, but
Yeah.
their beliefs compelled them on. And the laws of nature is like what you would expect.
Yeah.
Natural, the natural world, what you hear about in science
Sure.
and biology, things like that.
Yeah.
And they realize that, hey, as far as people go, what makes a person, we're all equal.
That's right.
No matter intelligence, height, weight,
But the thing is, and this is the fascinating point of both the book as well as our history, is that they were the first ones to realize that and to win.
Yeah.
I mean, because that was probably hadn't been realized before, right?
Well, the
they
serfs,
were the first ones
the serfs
to-
weren't doing real well anymore.
No,
the serfs-
serfs and peonage did not work out real well
Yeah.
for the peons.
No, unlike a Disney movie,
No.
right off with the prince on the
Yeah.
white horse.
Yeah, that didn't
No,
happen.
it wasn't like that.
They had all the information, but they weren't able to. They weren't able to pull it off and fight against the.
Do you think the
Knights
religious component of the laws of natures and the laws of nature's God, that had to be a large part of it's presumably
beliefs.
what the book is about. There had to be a large part of their belief system to make them go ahead and do
Yes.
that, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Laws of nature. So God, people are born.
Given the inalienable rights.
Yeah. And
And one of the
God-
things that you can't change, I'm sorry, one of
That's
the
okay.
things that you can't change is like gravity. If you're up in the tree
Sure.
and you fall, you're going to go down.
You're going to fall. That's
Yeah.
the
And
nature's
that's the
law.
laws of nature.
That's right.
so you don't want to break many laws of the nature.
You're not going to break those.
But if you're going to break your arm,
You'll be sorry. And so, anyway, then you have the laws of nature's God. He's over nature. He created us, according to the Bible.
Yeah.
He created all of us.
Yeah.
So we're equal. A king is not any better than a serf.
even if you think so.
Yeah.
A CEO is not any better than the janitor that cleans the stools at
Sure.
night. And so that was their attitude. And then the Bible, the laws of nature's God, the Bible is what that is. The Word of God, laws of nature's God. The Bible is
His
what
laws.
that is. And the reason we know this is because there was a set of commentaries written by Sir William Blackstone.
Yeah, Blackstone in the 1750s.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And we followed that book in this country and many other countries in Europe until 1947.
47. That was the basis of our law.
I saw I saw that what happened in 1947, was that the UN Charter or something like that?
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
That was one of them.
I
Eleanor
wondered
Roosevelt-
what else happened in
Hey,
1947.
you're a historian too.
Well,
Looks
you
like
know,
you.
that was I tried.
That's a great man. We had to do this research.
Yeah, and we had to do a lot of research because we didn't know these things. It was real funny. We were talking to a constitutional lawyer, and she goes, "How did you learn this?" And I said, "We've studied a lot."
Yeah, she did say we
She's-
were dead on.
And she said, "You're right." She goes, "But how did you learn this?" I had to go to law school, and I said, "We've read everything."
Yeah, did a lot of research.
Okay, so
The commentaries,
Yeah.
like I said, the
Yeah.
commentaries written by Sir William Blackstone of
Right.
Britain, all those, the men who wanted to become attorneys over here, now this was before the war,
right.
So they would become attorneys by reading these commentaries, and they were all over Europe. They were translated into Russian.
That's how you became an attorney, because
Yeah.
they didn't really have law schools.
Right.
They
You would
read
read
those
for the
books.
law, as opposed to go to
A university.
Go to University of Illinois for law school,
And
which you
that's-
did that too eventually. But
And that's what
that was part of
Abraham
what it was.
Lincoln did.
Now, there are some conflicting stories about how Lincoln got his books, but
He was living
he
in New
read them.
Salem.
He read them. He was able to get them, and he read them, and that's how he became an attorney.
What's the most surprise? What is I mean, you've known this story. You know, you grew up in history. We all took history as a kid in high school, and you knew the stories. A lot of these stories here. What in your research for this did something really take you by surprise? Anything in writing the book?
That we weren't really conservative people.
Before we read all this stuff, we realized that our education
Yeah.
had made us lean towards not being conservative, but we thought we were conservative.
Is that right?
We grew
Yes.
up with Christian
We went,
parents.
"Oh my
in a
gosh, we're
conservative
liberals."
area.
Sure.
But we were.
Yeah. We're liberals.
Oh no! We looked in the mirror. Oh
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
but
wrong.
we were shocked.
No, but we were
That was
surprised.
one of the big shockers.
We were surprised
no!
that
Those are our liberal friends out there. There's nothing. But we were shocked.
You were shocked to find yourself more liberal than you thought you were.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
that was the thing that probably surprised us most, because
Yeah.
I remember sitting. We fixed up our garage as an office, and I turned around to him and I said, "Oh my gosh, we are looking at this wrong."
But what our theme song is the Beatles' "Paperback Riders."
Paperback Riders. I like that. I like that.
Well, and the thing is these aren't the only two books that we're doing. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like we're
this
working
is-
on several,
But
and I do stories. He does history,
Right.
and we work together.
Tell me about the before we run out of time, and I want to make sure that everybody knows they are going to have a book signing at the Flora Library June 29th from 11 to 1. Tell me a little bit about the illustration. I kind of skipped over your fellow doing the illustrations and Working on the Railroad. I don't have any of the illustrations ready to go, but tell me about it.
Okay. Well, Bill and
Is that Oliver?
Oliver, it's
Okay, I do have his picture
yeah,
there.
if we can-
Yeah, that guy.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
my buddy Oliver. I went to work at Disney World, and 30 years ago, and so that dates me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I worked with Oliver at the Star Tours ride, which is
Okay.
Star Wars.
Yes.
They have a little robot that flies you around. Anyway, we worked together at that ride, but at the time, he was getting into animation.
Okay.
And he became a Disney artist, and he works on Main Street USA now on a daily
Oh, really?
basis at the
Illustrator.
Magic Kingdom
He's an illustrator and marketing.
marketing. He designs old plush toys, little figurines. He paints pictures on watches for.
The pictures actually in Working on the Railroad. I can't flash them right now, but they're very well done. It's
And he
terrific.
said, "Well, they're 23 years old. I've gotten better since then."
Yeah, he's improved.
that also tells you how long you've been thinking about the book.
Yeah, like those stories I collected 20 some years ago.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
and so Oliver.
And we did the
has-
rest of the book this past year.
Oliver.
Wow.
Oliver graciously he wants to work with us, and he drew those pictures. They're kind of like pen and ink pictures for Little House on the Prairie
Yeah.
books. It's that style.
One other thing before I run out of time, I wanted to show the picture of your son here. You've got because he's the one who kind of kicked you into gear to write the books, didn't he?
Well, he
He helped.
yeah. David is a wonder. He
is.
He almost flunked kindergarten, but he came out. But then he turned out to be.
How do you almost flunk kindergarten?
Well, that's another story. That's another story for another time.
You're going to have another book. Yeah.
But he just wrote a book. But he has a degree in radio and TV communications.
And he's written a book. Well, I need to have him on here too.
And he's written a book about how to get financial aid,
how to get into school.
How to get into school for
guys. Outstanding work. Working on the Railroad and Underdogs, folks. Take a look for them. Thanks very much, Bill, for coming in. We're running out of time. Deb, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, folks, have a great day. You are sweaty. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.